Okay, another street takeover by teens. This time in New Jersey, the entire New Jersey beach town. Welcome to another episode of the How Ridiculous podcast, where we call out ridiculous from all sides. Let's get right into it. As you can see, teens just having fun. Nothing wrong here, nothing to see, just some kids doing what kids do. What's wrong with that? Damaging property, fighting, in some cases, stabbing, shootings, in other cases, looting. I guess some parents call this normal behavior. Kids do what kids do, right? This is so bad and so sad. What are we doing to our society? I know every generation tends to think that the generation after them is doing too much. It's kind of out of whack or what have you. But you can't get this wrong. This is getting out of hand. This is crossing the line a little bit too far. Stabbing, shootings, causing chaos. This cannot be normal in any society, right? Yet we say kids do what kids do. Um, I want to point out the obvious here, of course. Most of these incidents that you're going to notice as this episode moves on are actually in Democratic run cities. I don't think I needed to say that. Just kidding. It could have been the right too, right? But in these cases, where most of these incidents are happening, happens to happens to be Democratic run cities. Let's take a look at some more.
Like, what the hell?
Okay, this is in Chicago. You can hear the woman in the recording in the background saying this is her neighborhood as she opens the door. Even she's appalled by it. I guess again, some parents say kids being kids. What are you going to do, right? But again, I think it's getting out of hand. This has been going on for the last couple of years, and is causing chaos and havoc, right? The big question here, of course, comes to be, what are the parents doing? I think the number one aspect to be blamed on, the number one blame falls at the feet of the parents. What are the parents doing? Do they know their kids are acting like this and they're okay with this? Are they actually promoting this kind of behavior? Are they just hands off? Kids are out of control and the parents don't have any control on them? I don't know what the case is, but the number one question is, where the hell are the parents? When I was growing up and I acted like this, my dad would have slapped the dog, you know what, out of me. My mom, I would have been grounded so bad. But it seems like here parents just don't care. Um, but the normal question is, even right when as kids are like doing what kids do, enjoying summer, getting out there in the summer, warm weather. Schools just went out. Why are they acting like this? Why is this considered to be normal? Why is this even a thing that they're doing? Is it because they're watching this at home and this is somehow being normalized for them? Or are they? Why do they think this behavior is cool? I think it comes from the parents, and the government reminds you that is implementing curfew, 8 p.m. curfews everywhere. That's the best policy that Democratic-run cities could come up with, is to implement a curfew for all teens, not a certain group of teens that are doing this, but now we punish the entire group. I don't think that's fair, right? How is that fair? Why punish? It's like saying, you know what, somebody got caught speeding, so now we're going to stop them from driving altogether. It doesn't make any sense, right? They're punishing the entire team as a team group as a whole, when it's not everybody. It's a handful of teams causing these problems, and instead of just going after the root cause of the problem, they're punishing everyone. And then they also implemented in some cases bag checking before you enter the beach. What the hell is that about? Now we're going to have TSA lines at the beach. Are they going to implement an app where we get to see how long the line is before we enter the beach? How stupid is that? Well, again, those are the policies that our politicians came out with in these Democratic-run cities, right? Again, Democratic-run cities. Did you doubt these were the policies they would come up with? Something so smart, right? I think there needs to be harsher punishments for the parents. That's where the problem is, I think. Uh, why should we have to pay as a society as a whole, or teens, or as be inconvenienced by this as a society as a whole, rather than going after certain group of people, right? I think they need to come down on the parents hard. That I think the solution is. um, I say start by implementing financial burdens on them. Give them a citation, track down who these kids that are acting like animals belong to, track their parents down, start off with the ticket. Then I guess if they do it again and there's the same parent, the ticket doubles, right? And if it still continues, the parent has to go in maybe for one night. Make them feel like what it is being inconvenienced, right? And if it still continues, maybe they have to go in for a weekend. We have to kind of come down hard on this behavior. I don't know what else to call it except for these kids are acting like animals, and we need to kind of just get a hold of this situation. And I think if the parents don't lovingly want to hold their kids accountable, don't care for their kids, and then I think as a society we're going to have to find these parents and forcefully make them be accountable and responsible for what their kids are doing. Uh, uh, you know what? There are a few more examples. Let's take let's take a look at another video.
All right, normal graduation handshake.
उसको तोड़ के खाली जूता और मोजा छुड़ा दिया है और क्या मसल्स थे भाई
Wow, this is an all-out brawl at a graduation ceremony, right? It is graduation season. People go out as families and they celebrate. They get together for the ceremony, and after that, you go out for like a nice graduation dinner. But here, again, these kids are showing animalistic behavior. What could have possibly happened in this ceremony that's making these kids fight like this? Again, where are the parents? What are these kids being taught at home that this behavior is actually coming out in public? In fact, not just in public, in this time, it's coming out at a graduation ceremony, for God's sakes. Can you imagine all the other kids and parents that are there that those kids are not, whose child is not involved in that? Now they're having to suffer for this behavior in public as well. Again, it goes back to being punished as a society as a whole for the behavior of a few. I think we really need to come down on these parents that are allowing these kids to get away with this. Again, guys, this is a short one. Please, these are my thoughts. Please let me know what you think about these things. Please let me know if you think I'm completely wrong and missed the boat, that this is completely okay to do. Let me know in the comments. Until next time, be happy, be safe. See you guys soon.